Are you someone who's living a not sad enough life? Okay, just give me 30 seconds to explain where you might be with my own example. I, for all my life, have grown up in a safe, moderately happy, and a comfortable household. I was always above average in studies, but not the best. I have parents who love me beyond anything, but they also have made some parenting mistakes. Not too big though, at least I would like to think that I've turned out fine. But my point is, I've always had kind of an average life. Nothing to be too proud of, but nothing to be ungrateful for. And that's what I mean by not sad enough. Growing up watching anime, I've always seen MCs struggle through life. Their childhood being traumatic, characters that have gone through stuff that I can't even imagine experiencing. And that's what makes their journey admirable, I guess. The hard work and dedication of pushing through the worst, doing what's necessary even when your back is against the wall. That always led me to believe I have nothing to complain, nothing to cry about. But that also what always kept me mildly demotivated. I felt like there's nothing pushing me to go beyond my limits. When your life is comfortable enough, it feels like you're just waiting for catastrophe to happen so that you're forced to work harder. And for years, I slowly felt my life drifting off into auto mode. I woke up to do the same exact things and I would go to sleep thinking of things I wish I had done. And that's when I happened to come across this simple sports anime, Hajime no Ippo. And I will never be the same again. Is it because it's astonishingly motivating? No. Is it because it thoroughly changed my life perspective? Not really. Is it psychologically deep and impactful? Nope. But that's the charm of Ippo. To briefly explain the show, Ippo is an average kid who has a decent life, I guess. Not the best, but not the worst either. Ippo, like most of us, is not inherently riddled with a traumatic life. And don't get me wrong, being bullied is not a casual event that I'm undermining, but compared to most of the anime MCs, Ippo has a life closest to what we can call relatable. He gets introduced to boxing through a guy who saves him from his bullies. A very typical and cliche beginning to any show, but what transpires next is nothing short of a true miracle. As Ippo slowly starts to become more and more interested in boxing, we discover his life getting a little bit better. And that's the best part about this anime. It has strictly stayed away from all the bullshit subplots, the unnecessary plot twists, the cheap thrills, not that one. The closest thing this show comes to pulling off some cheesy tactic is when the girl Ippo is trying to bag turns out to be the sister of the long arm boy. And as soon as the show realizes that it's about to cheap out on quality by Oni channing the fuck out of an awesome fight, it slaps itself into its face and says,
We don't do that here.
simply put, Ippo is an anime that does one thing and one thing only, which is to focus on boxing as a sport and what people involved are like, what they do, feel, or say. No other bullshit, no additional fluff. The pacing of this show is insane. You'd think there's some resolution left outside the ring. Nope. The match begins, motherfuckers. Let's throw some hands. The pacing is actually quite amazing. There's so many situations where I was dead ass worried for Ippo because I wasn't sure if he's ready for the match or not. But that's the reality of the sports. It doesn't matter if you're ready. If you're afraid, you gotta do what you gotta do. Watching Ippo made me realize you can be someone who has a decent life, who's happy with what they have, and still be passionate, still push themselves naturally to achieve what's necessary. And how Ippo does that is the best part about this show, simplicity. And that brings me to the last part of this video, how this anime has actually changed my life. I've realized that no amount of thinking or arguing is going to make a difference. There's no what can be, what could be, what was, what will, what could have been. There's only what is. Keeping things simple and just starting with what needs to be done is the easiest way to get out of a rut. And you could always just play Naked Fang in the background to get that adrenaline pumping. And you don't need a major adversity or traumatic event to dictate how your life pans out. Overcoming huge adversities is commendable, but so is improving on your normal life, pushing yourself. And to finally give you an update on what that means for me, if you care at all, I took a 2 months break from my curriculum curriculum to focus on things that matter to me. I started writing things, learned how to edit. I realized what type of work I wanted to do along with YouTube as a passion. So I joined a company which was completely unrelated to my profession. So now I work on YouTube in my spare time while having a full-time job. I still wake up to do the same things over and over again. But guess what? When I go to sleep, instead of thinking what I wish I had done, I think of the things I would do tomorrow. It's hectic, it's tiring, but I've been the happiest I ever was. So I'll end the video with a simple quote from our beloved coach Kamogawa. There's times when working hard may not be enough, but those who succeed worked hard. And that is how this simple anime changed my life. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this. And if you like these type of videos, you can maybe check out the playlist where I have explained and talked about some other anime as well. See you next time.